A little while ago, before the midterms, Taylor Swift encouraged people to register to vote, and it led to the single largest uptick in young voter registration, to my knowledge, ever recorded, even if there were greater days of registration in the past. Like, it was a massive bump. It's very possible that Taylor Swift's encouragement to register got several Democratic officials elected, because she didn't say, go vote Democrat. She just said register to vote. But what kind of person do you think watches Taylor Swift or listens to Taylor Swift or whatever? In her case, there's a strong demographic bias to begin with. Now, the race is on for the Taylor Swift presidential endorsement. The Biden administration has made no secret of the fact that they are, well, I shouldn't say they've made no secret of the fact. I should say many people strongly believe that the Biden administration is making a strong effort to get the endorsement from T Swift. Okay? Now, this would be huge for a number of reasons. First of all, as a consequence of the genocide in Gaza, a lot of young voters are not very hyped up about Biden right now, so that might kind of reinvigorate a lot of people who would otherwise not be super engaged. Additionally, the kinds of people Taylor Swift previously endorsed Biden in 2020, yes, she did. And people right now are fighting over it. See, the story here is not just Biden wants the endorsement. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? The story here is that this time, the right wing is losing their shit. Now, personally, as the lawyer of the GOP, I am encouraging them to continue to wage war against Taylor Swift. In terms of the potential for negative repercussions, this is significantly worse than going after Disney. Disney might make a lot of things that people like, but not a lot of people are diehard fans of Disney, the brand and legal entity. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, is a single personality, and the people who like her like her. The right wing has been getting increasingly crazy over her. Apparently there's a conspiracy theory. This is just a small part of it, by the way. Apparently there's a conspiracy theory that, like, the Super Bowl is rigged to get Taylor Swift more prominence for the Biden endorsement. Former presidential candidate and MAGA blowhard Vivek Ramaswamy tweeted on Monday that he wondered who's going to win the Super Bowl next month, adding, "I wonder if there's a major presidential endorsement coming from an artificially culturally propped up couple this fall. Just some wild speculation over here. Let's see how it ages over the next 8 months." And that was him responding to Nazi Jack Posobiec. Thinking about when Taylor Swift called out the Soros family in 2019 for buying the rights to her music, and then how she came out as super liberal in 2020. So, the state of the Republican Party. This is like one of the biggest pop stars of our time. Jack Posobiec, a Nazi, JQ posting about whether or not she's been bought by the nefarious Jew, and a person who only dropped out of the Republican presidential race 2 weeks ago saying, yeah, I bet they're going to rig the Super Bowl so that her message is louder when she endorses Biden, you know? They, of course, in the largest possible echoes, parentheses. This is unironically giving me hope. The only thing that can save us from the Dems' incompetence is the stupidity of the right. Yeah, it's probably not to their benefit. Oh, there's Laura Loomer. The Democrats' Taylor Swift election interference psyop is happening in the open. They're going to use Taylor Swift as the poster child for their pro-abortion GOTV campaign. Stick to singing. MAGA backlash against Taylor Swift gets ugly. Conservative media personalities are raging over a new enemy and one-time Biden endorser would she have endorsed him for like VP or Senate or whatever? Whose power has never been more undeniable. Taylor Swift. Swift has not yet endorsed anyone. The New York Times reported Monday that Biden's campaign is courting her for a 2020 repeat, even jokingly considering the president appear at an Eras tour stop. Unironically, if Biden did that and it went well, that would be one of the most impactful, that would be huge. I doubt Taylor Swift would let it happen, but, you know. Meanwhile, the Rolling Stone reported that Trump's allies are closely watching for Swift's move. Trump's allies pledge holy war against Taylor Swift. Did you see this article on Twitter? This title? I saw it everywhere. Trump is already privately grousing that he is more popular than Taylor Swift. According to 3 people familiar with the matter, Trump loyalists working on or close to the former president's campaign, longtime Trump allies and right-wing media, and an array of outside advisors to the ex-president have long taken it as a given that Swift will eventually endorse Biden, as she did in 2020. Indeed, several of these Republicans and conservative media figures have discussed the matter with Trump over the past few months, the sources say. really weird world that we live in, by the way, that this is something being done in like hushed whispers in like a dark room where a bunch of presidential advisors are like, and what will we do about the Swift endorsement? You know, like it's very funny. Very, very powerful woman, you know? Very wacky. The Swifties. Yeah, they're if Trump wins, even though Taylor Swift endorsed Biden, they're gonna dox Trump, White House. Over here in the Swiftie fandom, we love that the right wingers hate her. Yeah, Taylor Swift is pretty lib coded, you know, anyway. I have to say, by the way, I don't think this is all some big conspiracy. However, I will say it is extremely funny that right now the celebrity power couple that the right wing is terrified of is a white, blonde, blue-eyed pop country singer and a football player. Like, if you took a look at this photo and you just like made a snap judgment on who they were voting for, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, Jesus. It's just very funny. It's so opposed to the race that there's nothing they can go on them after, right? You're not gonna like as the racists go, they're both white. As the sexists go, like it looks like a very like traditional heteronormative, you know, relationship. Like it's very solid. It's a very solid, you know. It's like the hydrogen atom. It's very chemically stable. Very, very funny. They're also mad that his boyfriend, because he was pro-vaccine. Yeah, it's just, you know, raging against them does not benefit the right wing at all. Can you imagine a person who was not previously committed to Trump, who will move over to Trump because the Trump campaign goes after Taylor Swift? Like, can you imagine that? Vosh, I'm actually curious, why do some leftists dislike Taylor Swift? Probably for the same reason they dislike celebrity in general. I don't know much about her. She doesn't seem that offensive, I guess. I mean, she's like she's liberal. I don't know. I don't know much about her. The only thing they can attack is that Taylor Swift is not a trad wife. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't follow celebrity that much. It's just, it's interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. Failed GOP candidate Jack Lombardi II wrote on Twitter that he has, quote, never been more convinced that the Super Bowl is rigged. With all the unneeded and unwanted Taylor coverage at the games, Casey's journey to the Super Bowl, totally scripted, Casey wins, and then later they announced their support for Biden. Coincidental? No. Bought and paid for couple, SMH. Really makes you wonder how we're ever going to move forward as a country when the right wing is this conspiratorial. Like, literally everything. Like, there's no way. Oh, they cannot engage with reality, you know? It's pretty spooky. Who the fuck is buying off Taylor Swift? Well, according to Jack Posobiec, the Jews. Taylor Swift must really be hurting for that cash. Some lefties don't like her because she's a billionaire now. Look, celebrities are always going to be at least somewhat annoying, but as long as they exist, I think it's good that they're the kind of celebrity that fascists get mad about. Look at this desperation. Fox News host Sean Hannity cautioned pop star Taylor Swift on Tuesday against endorsing President Biden as he runs for re-election. Does Taylor realize the guy they want her to endorse is kind of a stumbling, bumbling mess and doesn't have the energy to even give a 30-minute speech, let alone perform a 3-hour concert like she does? Hannity said of Swift and Biden, her nightly show. He is also kind of very creepy. She might want to check out those creepy videos. They're online. This was done like the same day that Trump had like an 80 million settlement to a person he sexually assaulted. Or maybe Taylor Swift just bought into all the lies about conservatives and Republicans, that they are racist and sexist and homophobic and xenophobic and transphobic and Islamophobic. And Republicans and conservatives want dirty air and water and a total ban on all abortion with no exceptions. You know, it sure was easy of him to list off all of these positions because they are just the things that he believes. She for real emitted 17 K tons of CO2 last year alone, which is insane. Oh yeah, I'm sure. She's like a pop star, right? She's flying all over the place.